All right, welcome everybody to our RUAC Spoon Challenge 19 show and tell. We've got quite a few wonderful, amazing spoons that I've seen posted up to the hashtag. It's the hashtag RUAC Spoon Challenge 19. If you've not posted pictures of your spoons there, please do. We will, time permitting, go through the Instagram account and go through those on here after everybody's had a chance to go through and show their spoons live. As most of you may know or may not know, if you've not done this before, basically what we'll do is kind of go round robin. I will ask people to wave their hands because the only way I can tell if you're wanting to go is if I see you waving, and I'll basically just call on people as I see you waving, and we move through. First thing we're going to do, though, is have Mr. Sebastian Ungh from the south of Sweden kind of talk us through this template that he put together and this challenge. And it's been really fabulous seeing everybody's posts. The spoons that you guys are doing have been amazing. I just barely snuck in under the wire, completing just the top surface of my spoon in time for today. So it's been a last-minute push to get her done. Anyway, all right, so Sebastian, just a bit of housekeeping. Like I said, if you would all please keep your mics muted and then unmute yourself when it is your turn to do your show and tell. I will spotlight whoever is speaking, but it takes me a second to turn the spotlight off and get back to gallery view. So when I call for people to wave, to raise your hands, that's when I'll, pick somebody to go next. All righty, so with that, Sebastian, let me spotlight you real quick.
Right.
There we go. And yeah, take it away. Tell us about how you came up with this template, how your just general design approach and your sense and all of that.
All right. Thank you. And thank you all for participating. This has been amazing for me. I'm flabbergasted with all the entries and all the creativity I've seen here. As a man of few words, I have no particular speech prepared for this, but I can say that I made this template based on my favorite kind of spoon that I carve. I do these in two different forms, with or without the finial, and with or without these extra wings. I often ship carve in different geometric patterns in all different places and paint them with happy colors. Often happy, sometimes more glum, but yeah. I do them as eaters, I do them as more server spoons and teaspoons and everything. And the whole idea was to have a shape that you can play around with, and you can also do all different sorts. I often have a crank like this, where it's a quite flat top, but sometimes I play with them here. If I find a crook like I did with this one, I can get a quite aggressive crank. It's always to play around with. And I also use the same shape of the handle and can add other forms of the spoon bowl to make like a scoop in this one.
Nice.
Yeah, and I made one here with one of Russell's swirls.
Yep, spirals, yeah.
Spiral. So it's just basically a fun shape to play around with, and I think I can quit carving now. Now I've seen all your amazing stuff.
I don't know. Your spoons are amazing, Sebastian. Absolutely amazing, and I love how versatile this template is. Like I didn't go near. I only did a couple, but you can really do a lot with it. It's a really neat template, and I love your other forms and everything that you can do with it. Just tell us. I'm curious, how do you come up with your selection of colors? What's your approach to choosing your color palette when you come to do a spoon?
I'm always winging it. I carve a spoon. I have it like this one I made. It is I made these shapes and
Mhm.
patterns. And when it's time for painting, I always make these frames blue. All these lines are always blue, phthalo blue. And then I add different paints, basically. I work with around 5 or 6 different colors for each spoon. So it's a bit of variety, but it's not too many different colors. Sometimes it's really huge, big contrast in the colors, like in this one. And sometimes I do, more with shades that are closer, like the blues and the greens. But it's all on a whim. I have no preconceived idea of how to paint it when I carve it. Like this one is not nearly
So you just
finished.
approach it unpainted with your selection of colors and you just start coloring in.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I think the spoon designs itself when it comes to color.
awesome.
It's all ad hoc or laissez-faire, or
Yep.
however you want to say it.
Excellent. Well, I just want to also point out that Sebastian did a wonderful demo for us. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that I couldn't have 2 screens spotlighted simultaneously and have it record. It was only recording the screen that had the audio on, which unfortunately wasn't the one for the whole first half of Sebastian's demo. That was the one focused on his hands. It was the one focused on him. So my apologies for messing that up, but we do have Sebastian's demo posted up on YouTube. So if anybody hasn't seen that and wants to go check that out, Sebastian goes into a lot more detail about both the spoon carving, the chip carving, and the painting. So thank you so much, Sebastian. This has been a wonderful challenge. With that, is there anything else you want to say before we?
No, I'm very grateful and humbled by everything regarding this. So thanks to all of you. It's been amazing.
Awesome.
Is it okay to ask a question before we start?
Oh yeah, sure. Go. Yes, by all means. Anybody have any questions? Go for it.
I was interested in how long the whole process took, and that was one question we didn't ask on the demo. Is like compared to the carving of the spoon, if you can you compare the chip carving?
I know in hours or minutes, but it takes a long time. It takes a longer time for me to chip carve and paint it than to carve the actual spoon shape.
Mm-hmm.
That's the tricky part.
That was the sort of question I was asking. Was it a much bigger proportion of the time actually just decorating it?
I think it's more like 2/3 of the time is the decoration, which is hard when people are buying spoons from me, because it's hard to motivate them to pay me for the actual work. But this is more made for fun than for me becoming the next Elon Musk. So
carving your way to fame and fortune. Yep.
Is there one kind of wood?
Absolutely.
Is there a wood that works better for this style than others? Like what's your preference?
I always love birch. Birch is so light in color, and so it's fun to play around with colors and paints, and it chip carves nicely as well. It's quite soft, but still sturdy enough to get good detail. I also like all sorts of fruit wood, plum, cherry, apple, if I can get any. Softer woods like lime or basswood is also possible, but I seldom go there because it's I don't get as crisp details, I think. But I use the wood I have. I live in the city, so I don't have a constant supply of wood. So I chase chainsaws when I hear them on the streets, and sometimes I get wood from nice people. So right now I have been carving a lot of elder, and that works quite fine as well. It's not as hard as many other species, but it's fun to play around with. Lighter color wood is easier to predict the effect of the colors, but with fruit woods it can be quite cool as well when you have Yeah, this was a piece of plum, and it's fairly darker than the elder, but it gets nice colors as well. Sometimes when you have a big difference between the sapwood and the other kind of wood, whatever it's called, it can be hard to predict the colors, and you get a uneven effect. But yeah, that can be nice too. I'm very liberal when it comes to all this. I have no master plan, and if something turns out not as nice as I envisioned it, then it's a lesson too. It's that wasn't as nice as I envisioned, but it's still spoon, you can eat with it.
Well, you took away my excuse, because I was going to blame the fact that mine didn't turn out as nice as I wanted to on the fact that it was birch. But I think now what you're saying is that the fact that my chip carving isn't crisp and clean comes down to the fact that this is the first time I've done it.
Well, I think that you're very excused then, and what I've seen from the Instagram is that it's really nice. I love the bird you put on. So
Oh, thank you.
kudos to you.
Thanks. All right. Well, with that,
Also, I want to say,
go ahead. Yeah.
Birch is also very different depending on where it's grown.
Yeah, good point.
I live in the southern part of Sweden, and the birch here is not as nice as the birch up in the northern part of Sweden. So the birch in England is quite like the birch here. It's not as nice as birch can be, but yeah, we deal with what we have.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And actually, I should say that like the birch that I tend to like the most to carve is black birch, which is a harder birch, and it definitely takes crisper cuts. This was some like, I don't know if it was paper birch or like a gray birch, but I got it from a friend up in New Hampshire, and it was super wet, first of all, so it hadn't had a chance to mellow at all, and it was really kind of stringy, and I was having a hard time getting clean cuts, and I probably should have let it dry a little bit more before I tried to carve it. But yeah, it's definitely it's a beautiful. I like the light color to be able to put that your painting and all of that on. So, all right. With that, did anybody else have any other questions for Sebastian before we move into show and tell? Just unmute yourself and speak up if you have a question. Okay, if not, then I'm going to remove the spotlight and I'm going to go back to my gallery view. And is there anybody here who needs to go like right now or early on because you have something you have to leave to go and do? If so, wave your hand. Okay, Suzanne.
Hi. So I'm in Dad's garden and I don't know how well my internet connection is working. If the wind is too loud, you tell me, you interrupt me, and I try to get back into the onion.
I think you're okay. It sounds fine.
Very good. This is my first one that I made.
A spoon with a fork on it, that's just wrong.
But it's just fork off.
I love the spoon.
Excellent.
It's coming to you, George. And then I made another one. Why not? So this is my second one. And
Nice.
I wanted with the colors, I wanted to go from the brown bowl to the blue mosaic. So I tried to do that, but I don't know how well it worked. Yeah. In my
It
mind,
worked really nice. It's beautiful.
Did you sweat less on the second one?
no, I don't think so. I think I sweated more because I did the chip carving a lot deeper. I figured out that would work better with the painting. But yeah, it's very tiring. It's a lot of work. I have new appreciation for Sebastian's work because I actually own one of his spoons, and now I know how much work it is.
Right? It really is.
Super fun, super fun. I like this one a lot.
I like the use of a dark line work with those soft colors you've got. The line work really accentuates the colors, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm assuming you used acrylic paint, black down in those lines? Yep.
Very dark blue. Yeah, both very dark blues.
Yeah, I like the soft color palette. I think it's kind of nice.
Sanded a bit over it to make it look like it's old and worn.
Yep. Very nice. Great job. Excellent. Well done. All right. Let me get back into gallery view. And who would like to go next? Wave a hand. Okay, Sam.
Hello. So yeah, I'm pretty new to Rise Up and Carve. This was a lot of firsts on my spoon. So first time, I've only been carving spoons a few months. I started teaching myself to carve about a year ago, generally. Yeah, chip carving, pierce spoon, painting a spoon, crank, a whole lot. I went a bit rogue with the painting because I did the moon and then I quite fancied the galaxy. So for me, spoon carving itself takes a lot longer because I got pain issues, back, shoulder, God knows what. And to get the blotchy sort of effect, it has to be worked quite quickly because acrylic dries so quickly. So it was kind of put a bit on, put another bit on, blend it, add another bit. So it was kind of a bit of a build up for that. And then just added the little stars and just a toothbrush with some white diluted acrylic, which you flick to get the little speckled effect.
Nice.
So yeah, a little bit different. First time Neil as well. Yeah, this was a whole new experience. It was really great learning, actually, just because I know it's easy to get stuck into a rut. My idea process, I am a bit of a winger as well. I tend to, sometimes I have an idea, just pop it in my head. I tend to model it in my head. Then sometimes I'll start and it will change completely as I go through anyway. Yeah, that's my galaxy spoon.
Excellent. Beautiful. I love the piercing on the moon. I was actually going to try that with my bird and I just didn't have time to try and get up to the scroll saw and do it.
Yeah.
Beautiful job. Beautiful. I love that galaxy effect. Really, really cool.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, moving on.
Thank you. It's really,
Go
really
ahead.
nice.
Sorry, Sebastian, what was that?
I just wanted to say thanks because it's a really nice spoon. So really well done.
Thank you.
And also good to be going into the land of the crank. Kudos for that.
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. All right. Well done, Sam, and welcome to Rise Up and Carve, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay. Who would like to go next? Wave a hand, please. And keep it waving because there's lots of people on the screen that I'm trying to see. So come on now, don't all be shy. Okay, Rachel, you're up.
I'd only just got a knife out to start carving, but I'll start speaking instead. Okay, I really enjoyed the challenge. I have shied away from painting and decorating before for various reasons. So it was really good to be pushed out of my comfort zone and just throw myself into it. And it coincided with a holiday from school, so I felt I had time just to play rather than feel constrained by work. So my first one was this one, which was definitely channeling Sebastian. It felt really free and just draw some lines and fill in the gaps and drop it exactly like Sebastian. So that I enjoyed just as a first exercise. And then I'm quite into doing like knot work, and I enjoyed playing with that idea. Though the color choice on this one I didn't enjoy so much. I think it would have been better if the black and white checkers behind had been maybe paled, a bit grayed out perhaps. But interesting fun. And then the last one I've done has been inspired by sort of patchwork designs. I really like that that pattern on patchwork, and it lends itself to the spoon. So yeah, there are 2 more as yet unfinished, almost finished, but they're not done yet. But I think it's something I'll continue to do, and just have one to chip carve in the odd 10 minutes when I haven't got time to settle into carving properly. So thank you for that, Sebastian.
Really beautiful job, Rachel, as with pretty much everything you do. I'm really impressed with the cleanness of your chip carving and your painting.
Oh,
very,
paint
very
covers up a lot of ills.
Now, did you go more with, like, did you water your acrylics down much, or were you going more full strength?
No, I watered them down a lot.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, more and more. I think as time went on, I watered them more down, even though you can't tell. But it certainly flows on much more easily once they're watered down. But I felt there wasn't much difference in color between watered down and not. I think that the water just soaks in and leaves the pigment on the top.
The only thing I found is when I had it watered down a lot was that it would run, like it would run into the wood fibers. It would bleed across into areas that I didn't necessarily want it.
But I think that's the great thing about Sebastian's tip of coloring in all of the border lines first, because that provides the barrier.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if it's bled into the bits that are surrounded by a border line, well, your next coat of paint is going to cover up those bleed lines. So it was a really helpful process tip. I found that was to paint all your lines first, because it was like the black line around spalting that just defines how far the spalting's going to go.
Yeah, great point. And that's a great reminder that I need to go back and rewatch, because I was so pressed for time. I waited too long. So I forgot probably most of his tips. All right, excellent job. Your spoons are absolutely spectacular. Really, really well done. Any other questions or comments for Rachel? All right.
It looks like you have been chip carving for years and years. It's really nice.
Yeah. I haven't done that. Thank you.
All right, wave a hand. Who would like to go next? All right, Sonny, I see you waving.
So I'll start out with a thank you to Sebastian and all the people who contribute templates. You know, it's always fun to get some variety and different styles from around the world. You know, you get to try something new. With this one, I only got 1 spoon carved. I have been making an effort to try to do every one of them, and I still need to do a number 17. I have the template printed out and sitting on my workbench, but I haven't gotten that one done yet, but soon enough. So I did carve a single spoon. It's apple. The design is basically a peace sign with the world underneath it. And I did paint the finial white to be the little moon going around the earth.
Nice.
I didn't watch I didn't have time for the demo that Sebastian did, so I missed the memo about coloring in the lines, and really this was all done in one day, basically 24 hours. So I didn't have time to fix the painting as much as I would like. The spoon itself, I'm really happy with. It's apple, and it was a relatively dry piece of apple, so I got a good, nice finish on it. But yeah, it was fun having 2 extra transitions in the spoon to make it just a little bit more challenging. And I did have the flat face to be able to do the decoration on, but I just implemented the crank a little differently than what the template called for. So
beautiful spoon.
Thanks. And I like how I was able to keep the heartwood and have some of that come through, but avoid it in the area where I wanted to paint.
Yep.
So that was kind of a tricky piece with this apple wood.
Yeah, well planned out. I love the finial as the moon going around the earth. That was brilliant.
And the fade is fantastic with the orange and yellow.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And funny thing, Sebastian, is the first time I painted it, I did a wash, like they were saying, really watered down colors, and I liked it a lot. And then I messed it up. I'm quote messed it up by trying to go back and touch up this make this brighter yellow. And I wish I would have left it just a wash of really light. It was almost like a golden color all the way across. You live and learn. First try. And I appreciate all the effort people put in for the templates, and the community, the people that show up to show their work. So thanks everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And a huge thank you to you, Sonny, for all of your work, taking people's work and turning it into our PDFs and posting it up onto our website. If anybody here doesn't know, Sonny is the person responsible for getting the Rise Up and Carve website put together, and he does most of the maintenance on it. And he creates our PDFs for our templates that people send him either pictures of spoons or line drawings if they've got line drawings of their templates. So if anybody, and that's the other thing. Well, first, let me just finish that thought. Just say thank you very much, Sonny. We really, really appreciate all the work you do for Rise Up and Carve.
Thanks, Chuck.
And then also, if anybody has thoughts of wanting to do a template, we do have the next 2 templates pretty much planned and scheduled. And so, it's already posted up on RUAC on the website. It is challenge number 20, and it's by George. Our own George has given us, this is the second template that he's provided, and this one has multiple options. And I'll let George, when we get around to you, I'll let you speak about your template as well. And George is also going to do a demo of using the spoon mule to basically quickly get to close to completed forms. George is quite adept using draw knives and the spoon mule. We realize not everybody has a spoon mule. You don't have to have a spoon mule and use draw knives to do the next template, but he is going to do a demo on that if you're interested. And yeah, so that was that. Anybody have any questions or comments or anything for Sonny and his spoon? All righty. Thank you very much, Sonny. Great job. All right. All right, George. Yeah, we'll segue right into George. That's a perfect way to do it. Let me spotlight you real quick.
Yeah, maybe it's easier when I just continue. So thank you very much for the template again, Sonny, and thank you for making my next template. And yeah, as Chuck said, I would. It's a cooking spoon, serving spoon thingy, quite long, quite big. And there I see that it's really nice to have a spoon mule to get a little bit quicker with the work. So I will demo a little bit X work and spoon mule. But today we're here for this one. So I had a really hard time with chip carving, so I just overdid it a little bit. So it's more like relief carving.
I love it.
And yeah, it's a spoon. It was a challenge. Chip carving, I tried again to make my own tools, and but yeah, I was late a little bit. So, but I got something. And yeah, thank you, Sebastian, for the template. Kick in the butt to do something out of the box or out of the normal I would do again.
I like the relief idea. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice job, as with everything you do. George, if those of you who are on here haven't followed George, go give him a follow on Instagram. His spoons are amazing. Absolutely spectacular. Oh, and so just to finish off the thought, so the demo will be on Saturday, the 24th, correct?
Right. Yes,
right.
Correct.
And we are starting at what time? Your time? Was it going to be 9 a.m. Eastern, or was it on on
that day? It's like at 1400, like right now.
So like right now?
No, like half hour ago, like the.
So at 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe the West Coast is not so good to join it, but it's recorded anyway. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. So Saturday, April 24th, 8 a.m. Eastern. Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Great job, George. Any questions or comments for George?
Yeah, I really like that. It's almost like a seed pod, George. It's really lovely. It's not a nice and nice warm color and texture you got in there.
Yeah, it's a really mixture of like everything I got. It's like red, yellow, silver, purple, blue. With it was like a big.
It's a nice
mixture.
effect. It looks great.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. All right, I see Jürgen. I see that you've got your hand up. So let's give it a go.
Unmuted now, okay. Yeah, it definitely was a different challenge for sure. And it does take a bit of time. The chip carving, the spoon, I did the first one without the edge work. I think you can see it there. How does that come in?
Yeah,
And then
nice.
around. Yeah, the coming up with a design or coming up with an idea just took a little bit of time to know which way I wanted to go with the design work on it, and then the color choice and the chip carving. Yeah,
I really love that that sort of design of having a side face and a front facing face overlapped with each other. It's a really cool design.
yeah, so that it came out nice.
Beautiful how you have like a color up with a color on the spoon bowl. How you go so far up, so
Into-
it's
yeah.
all the way here. I really like that.
Colored, you know, and that definitely helped, you know, like you had suggested, is to go with the dark color, so outlining everything. Definitely helped with the color bleeding going in, like Rachel had said in your suggestion. So I did remember that and went and outlined everything, and that just kept the colors in their respective areas a little bit better. And then went and did another one with the
Nice.
with the wings on it, I guess, and
Oh, wow.
color pattern slightly different. And
I love how the two lines coming down are like ribbons on the front, coming down and crossing through that diamond area and then wrapping around to reconnect. Really, really neat.
yeah, it was fun, and the you know, getting all the little. I enjoyed it. It does. It was amazing that the chip carving and the coloring takes a lot longer than the getting the spoon there. It took
Yeah.
so much more time. So when you know, now when you see Sebastian's work, you realize how much work really goes into a spoon. You know, the coloring, you know, it took hours to just you know, after for me, you know, getting the colors in, yeah, it was hours. It wasn't 10 minutes for sure. It took me a couple hours to get the colors in on the spoons.
I'm so sorry.
I'm definitely not as fast. Maybe it takes you 10 minutes. I don't know, but yeah, to lay the colors out and just, you know, try not to get the bleeding and just get it so it, you know, sits in there right.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it, and I don't normally. I've never colored. I never did the chip carving anyways on something. It's nice. I like how the spoons came out, so I enjoyed it and I was happy with it. So thank you.
Absolutely. Beautiful job. Well done. Great job, Jürgen. Right. Any other comments, questions for Jürgen? Okay. We go back to gallery view, and who would like to go next? Okay, I saw Neil, and then I saw Neil, Annika, and Patrice. So we'll go Neil, then Annika, then you to Patrice. Let me spotlight Neil. And yeah, there you go.
Hang on. So for me, yeah, the spoon was relatively quick and easy to make because it's out of a piece of mango wood, which is quite soft. Still quite okay as a spoon wood, I think. But yeah, so I just put some lettering there, dig in, don't wait.
Well, you're upside down.
Oh,
Oh, wait, maybe it's because you're in Australia.
yeah,
Beautiful
we're
weather.
upside down.
Really nice.
So is that right? Or is
No.
that right?
There you go. You got it. Right down.
Anyway, what I found was it was a nightmare doing the colors. Just trying to think about what colors went with what, you know,
Yeah.
like so hard. And I didn't follow Sebastian's idea so much of like having I should have put some line work around the stem of the handle or something to define where the paint finishes. So I've just finished it at the chips basically on the on that line work there.
That's
Yeah, and
lovely.
the colors.
It's really good.
The colors were a nightmare.
Yeah,
Good
color
challenge, though. I loved
selection.
it.
Color selection is a challenge. I struggled with it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really beautiful job on your lettering. Really, really
Thank-
spectacularly well done.
Thank you. Like Rachel says, the painting hides a multitude of sins.
I don't know. In
Nice
my
work.
case, the painting is the multitude of sins.
It's taken me hours to do the paintwork.
Yeah. Beautiful job, Neil. Really, really nice.
Thank you.
And Neil, do you want to say something about making sure that you cover every single piece of wood?
Yeah, well, actually, that was Rachel's idea, and I'm so glad of it because, yeah, that was the darkest moment of the whole thing, like deciding what to color and what not to color. So I think that saved it, actually.
Mm,
Rachel saved it for me.
No, I just worked out that there was something about covering every single piece of wood that changed a mediocre spoon into something that looked really, really magic. And I pushed Neil into doing it, and I think, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah, it really
good
looks
job there,
fantastic.
Rachel. Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right.
Sebastian, for such a great spoon challenge too. That was really good doing the paint work and just playing with these colors and learning something new.
Nice.
Thank you so
Great
much.
job. Any other questions, comments? All right. Then I think we're going to go on to Annika.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, the challenge for me was also a lot of firsts. I haven't done so many spoons yet. So I first spent one whole day researching chip carving knives where I even started out. So, but yeah, then I really enjoyed the chip carving, and yeah, like some of you said, the coloring was really difficult, like mixing the colors and the bleeding. So yeah, that's my spoon.
I love that.
Beautiful.
And yeah, it wraps around here like a disc.
Really nicely done.
Really wonderful.
Oh, but yeah, when I started the painting, I did the black lines first, and they bled out, and I was like, oh no.
Yep.
And Rachel said, like, no, Sebastian said it will be fine if you cover it up with the next color on top, and it worked quite well. But yeah.
That's your first time chip carving?
Yes. Yeah.
That's so good.
Oh, that's it. I quit. I'm done. I'm done spoon carving.
Yeah,
I'm done chip carving.
That brings Chuck to his
So
depression.
I really enjoyed it, and I really like the knife that I got. It's just this skew knife. So yeah,
Okay.
it's just, I don't know. I think it's very meditative to do the chip carving.
Yes.
But coloring, it stresses me out, like really.
I will say, I don't know about you, but I found that doing the chip carving of the triangles, as tedious as it is, it was actually more enjoyable and I found it easier to do than chip carving of like long flowing lines. I found that particularly stressful. I also, though, was using a mini, like one of the flex cut mini knives, chip carving knives, and I think the handle is just too small. So I found that my hand was like really cramping as I was trying to be super careful and detailed on those long lines. So I don't know, I found the triangles a lot easier to do.
Yeah, I found that too, and so I did a second spoon, just triangles, and I ebonized it before.
Ooh, nice.
And I cut out
Really nice.
angles, and I don't know if you could see it, but it's golden, like golden flying chips. Yeah.
Really cool. What was that? Remember that early video game that was basically, was like, I don't know if anybody else here would remember it, but it was back in like the 70s, and all it was like a triangle that you would turn right and would shoot like dots out the thing, and you'd blast like, so that's kind of what
Tempest.
that immediately.
Asteroids.
Yes, asteroids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, it does look like that as well. I was thinking Tempest as well. It's another triangle one.
Yep. Really cool. Nice job.
Yeah. And then just today, so I axed out 5 spoons, and it took me so long, so I didn't finish it. But that's the one I started today, like really small compared to this, like
Yep. Nice.
teaspoons.
Yeah. Very nice.
Looks like you've been chip carving for a decade.
Right.
I'm
will
looking
say-
forward to seeing the whole set, Annika. That's going to be fabulous.
Yeah. I have also this one, but it's
Yes.
chip carving.
Excellent.
It's also chip carved in a way.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
so it's done.
it's a big palette for chips. The other thing I was going to mention is that I know Sean Warburton, whose chip carving and painting is amazing. He's a big fan of those skew type chip knives as well. So yeah, that's, I mean, there's, you've got kind of got the, I don't know what they call them, but there's like that one where it's kind of curved and angled down, which is your kind of typical chip carving knife. But then there's these skew chip carving knives, and he does fabulous work with those. I haven't tried mine yet for the chip carving for this, but yeah, great job. Great, fantastic. Sorry, well,
Hey.
Sean, are you there?
Yeah, it's a flex cut KN11.
Yeah.
Got like a skewed end on it. It's quite good for triangle chip carving. That's one I started with, and I still use quite a lot. That's the one, yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to try that one for the next effort. All right. Well done, Annika. Absolutely spectacular. Great job.
And thank you, Sebastian, for the challenge. Yeah, I really learned a lot. Yeah, and it was fun.
Yep.
I'm learning a lot as well, so my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, Patrice, I believe you were up next. Let me spotlight you. All right.
Pretty
Take it
hard to
away.
go after Annika because those are pretty amazing.
Right.
So I have never chip carved, and I still have never chip carved. So here's my spoon, but I used a flex cut mini palm gouge to do all the lines, like all the lines. So I feel like I cheated by not doing the challenge correctly, but I was just kind of thinking, oh, in the spirit of a Sebastian spoon, you know, I'll do some carving. And then Rachel mentioned the paint and the channels, and so I just took that advice and I just went with it. So I just did the front. There's nothing on the back because I really liked the swirl of the wood grain. And then the shape here like lend itself well to my maker's mark, so I liked that a lot, and had to put a skull on it. So that's my spoon, and next time I will learn how to chip carve, because I got some really nice chip carving knives from David in Seattle, but I just didn't have the courage to practice on the one spoon that I knew I would be able to finish in time. So I used four.
I must stop you. It's not cheating to use whatever spoon you have. You may use anything you have. I mean, it's your spoon, your rules, and it looks great. So no excuses.
All right, well, thank you. So I used 4 colors: black, white, gray, and brown. And then I left these last few unpainted so it would transition into the wood grain.
It looks like so many more than 4 colors.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is a person who's not complaining about the problem of choosing colors, I note.
Yeah, I probably could have gone with a lot of more colors, but I literally just grabbed those 4 and then stuck with it.
I don't believe it when people say that, because if I literally grabbed 4 colors, they would not literally go together as well as that.
Right.
Well, black, white, and gray, that's what I started with, and then I went back to get the brown. So but yeah, that's it.
Beautiful job. Really, really nice. I'm sorry I missed it because my internet connection froze for a minute there. What kind of wood is it?
Oh, it's cherry wood. And I didn't axe it because I didn't feel up to axing recently. And so I just whittled it all down from like a little plank. So I guess rebelling in that way.
Nice. Good
No
job.
axing, no chip carving. Thank
No
you,
worries.
Sebastian. That was fun.
Spectacular job, Patrice, as always. Really, really well done. All right.
Thanks.
Let me go back to the gallery view real quick. And who would like to go next? All right, Nancy. Yeah, you got to unmute yourself.
Here we go.
All right.
So this was my first challenge, and I'm also new to spoon carving, so I'm a little nervous sharing it with you, but I think it turned out okay.
It turned out great. Don't be nervous at all. It looks fantastic.
I went with the spirit of the template and changed the finial end a little bit to follow the wave-like pattern that I was going for.
Yeah.
And put a little swoop in the back and.
Really nice.
And I painted it with milk paint. I just got milk paint and I'm just so enamored of the way it goes on. And I layered a couple of colors and brushed it and then burnished it. And I find milk paint burnished is really very beautiful.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, it's still a novice spoon, but I had so much fun and I loved learning the carving, and I've been chip carving on other things. I made a little companion spoon to go with it, which is not the template at all, but in the spirit, and had the colors. And once again, the milk paint and the burnishing.
I think
beautiful. Nice.
Yeah, I think they look absolutely fantastic. Really nice. I love that form that you did with the handle coming up on the finial end. That really does accentuate, and then your chip carving really accentuates that feel of that kind of swirl to it. It's really nice.
There now you're getting the light on the burnished surface. It's just so pretty.
Yeah.
That's my contribution.
Well, that's fantastic.
I have to say, while I have you all there, that I've just so enjoyed this community, and starting with spoon carving and finding the support of everyone and learning so much every day. I'm totally hooked.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for saying so. We're really, really happy to have you with us. And I'll tell you, for your first show and tell, don't be shy, because spectacular work, beautifully done.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Let me go back to the gallery. And who would like to go next? Wave a hand. All right, Jody. And then Kate.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so I did 3 spoons and they're out of birch. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. 2 of them I carved only on the front. So this was the first one that I did. And these are just some textures that I played around with.
Beautiful.
Feathers and flowers and sunburst shapes. The back is plain. And I put some subtle colors on the spoon. It matches, you can't really tell, but this shape in here, that is a little bit of the spalting on the birch. It's just a little stain. This is like a bluish kind of color. So I copied that color here. It's like a bluish gray.
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
just some pale colors. And this
The
one
feeling goes
is,
when this is more, I think, the colors here.
yes,
are
yeah, just a
amazing.
little bit of, yep. So this one is kind of a story about spring, and it has sun rays coming down, rain
Right.
falling onto seeds, and flowers sprouting up with roots in the soil.
Nice.
Okay, you are there.
Love it.
And the third one, what was that?
I said, love it.
Thank you. The third one that I did was based on a Native American. I put this image in my stories, but it was based on a Native American card and dice game that was at the museum when we lived in Washington, D.C. And all the images came from that. Like, for instance, this is a little, they had cards that were, they had like a king and a queen, like a man and a woman set on it. So here's the man with the head, and his arms are on the side right here. And then these are his feet, and those are his legs. And then this one on the front is the queen with, this is her head, and here are her arms. And she has on, this is like a dress. And then I also did some co-rosing. Like, I never tried the basket weave co-rosing before. So there, if you look at my story, there was a basket with the exhibit. So that is kind of like a play on the texture. I struggled with the colors on this one because I knew what colors I wanted, but I had a hard time making it look like it went together. So I repainted it a couple of times, and then I ended up chip carving those little triangles after I painted. But I think this was the hardest one that I did because it was on both sides and I struggled with the colors. The other ones were challenging, but I liked the way they came out better. But it was really fun. I never, I had recently bought a chip carving knife, but I hadn't tried it yet. So I was really, really happy, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So I'll definitely do more of that.
Awesome. Really, really great job, Jody. Fantastic.
Thanks. Thanks, Sebastian.
Any questions or comments for Jody?
I wondered if you painted and then you wiped off the color, or you just applied such a small amount that it looks a little
it
muted.
was really just very, very watered down. And then some of it had a little bit of white mixed in with it, because I was worried that when the wood I was working with is actually like yellowish naturally when it's oiled. So if I didn't want the color to be yellow, I added a little white to it to kind of help it stand out a little bit. But mostly it was just because it was really, really watered down.
Okay. I love it. I
Nice.
love how it looks.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Anybody else? Anything? Any questions, comments? Okay. Let me go back to the gallery, and Kate, I think we said you were going to be next, right?
Yep.
All righty, take it away.
Nice job, Jody. Those are beautiful. Good morning. Apologize for I can't string sentences together. Dawn is breaking here. It's just becoming light. So
no worries.
Anyway, my spoon, I decided to mimic two paintings by Mondrian, the artist, abstract painter. He like coined the term neoplasticism. But anyway, so this is one of his paintings, and I kind of like added some stuff, like there's no river in it and there's no birds in it in the painting, but
I love it.
There. And then so I didn't have any issues. I like color, but I actually had these colors chosen by him, so for the most part. And then yeah, this is the other side. This is like more what people know him for. Yeah. But I did, you can't really tell, but I did chip carve all the black lines.
Nice.
So yeah, it's hard to tell in 2D, but anyway, I was just inspired by Sebastian's his abstract, you know, way of doing it, and I just thought it's just so, it just lends itself to chip carving really well. And yeah, I don't know, it was just really fun, and I liked thinking about art history and, you know, the abstract world of art when I was carving the spoon. So anyway, thanks Sebastian for yeah, the inspiration.
Thank you. And I think it's really wonderful that you have two such different sides. It's like a perfect spoon for magic tricks. You can hold it up and like, see the spoon? Abracadabra. And you.
That's right.
Pull a different one. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank
really
you.
Really well made. So thank you.
Yeah, great job. Really, really beautiful job. Chip carving is really nice and crisp. I love the colors and the like you said, the two totally different approaches on two sides of the spoon. Really, really neat.
Yeah, and I use milk paint too. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. Really cool. Yeah, I love the finish that you get with milk paint. It's got a nice, I don't know what the word. It's got a like a gloss, but it's not a gloss. It's just a like a satiny, I guess. You know, sort of a. Yeah. Exactly. Really, really cool. Beautiful job. Well done, Kate. Any other questions, comments? All righty. Going back to the gallery and done.
Okay. All right, let me swap to the other direction here so that we can see what we got. So I haven't done one of these in a long time. I haven't done any chip carving in a very long time, but I have one of Sebastian's spoons, and I thought, all right, I should really give this a go.
I do actually.
What's that?
I think that you have two of my spoons, to be honest.
Yes, but I have one that kind of maps, you know, to this template exactly, or at least the one that you shared.
Sorry.
So I started this spoon, I guess, Wednesday morning on Rise Up and Carve, and I did a little bit each morning, and then I was planning on finishing it this morning, but last night I ended up working until about 12:30 for a deployment at work, and for me that really is just sitting on a call and asking stupid questions periodically. So I did the chip carving and painting last night, and like many have already said, chip carving's really hard. I haven't really done any chip carving for I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years. So it's really messy, but I had a lot of fun with the form. I kind of started with, more traditional triangles and stuff, and I kind of had this whole built up series of triangles originally that covered the whole thing that was kind of, depending on how you looked at it, formed a bunch of images. But after this first part, I thought, I'm never going to get this done. So I just went into a little bit more free form above, and I don't know, I just had fun with it. I did, I carved this out of some spalted beech that was very very wet. And so as it dried, the whole thing, I don't know if you can really see, I tried to correct as much as I could, but it really curves quite a bit as it kind of bows to the side. So it's more of a left-handed eater than a right-handed eater. I also added one of my ridiculous mega finials, and as a consequence, I actually made the bowl a bit larger just to kind of balance the whole thing out. And Florian, yes, there is a cat in there. There was meant to be more of those sort of things throughout the whole thing, but it probably took me about an hour just to do that little section, and I thought it's going to take forever. So I had a very limited palette. I have a teenage daughter who's taken up art and kind of consumed most of my acrylic supplies. So I literally only had white, yellow, and red paint. So hence the very limited palette. I did not do anything on the back sides other than kind of paint and do a little bit of blending that matched the top surface.
Nice.
So as I throw it on the floor and knock bits of steel around, sorry about that. So yeah, that's my spoon. I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. If there's any lefties out there that are looking for a spoon, send me an IM and I'll happy to send it off to you. So
really, really beautiful job, Don, as with everything you do.
Thank you.
Spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. I love that cat face down there at the bottom. Really cool. Really, really neat. Beautiful job. And I love your, what is it? How did you call it? Your mega something finial?
Yeah, the mega finial. So I don't know, for folks that have been carving for a while, there was this kind of point in time when there was a lot of the folks that were professionals, and everybody was doing finials, and Jared Dahl had posted that, oh, it's just too much, and he coined the term a micro finial, and he would just have these barely little hints of lines that would suggest a finial at the top, and in response to that, I started making all these spoons with these ridiculous stacked finials that sometimes were as big as the whole handle. And so I haven't done one of those in a long time, so I thought it would be fun to
I was going to say, it would actually be funny to turn the entire handle into one giant finial with a bowl. Nice.
Much is not enough.
Exactly.
Very cool. Well, your chip carving on those finials is so like tiny and precise. Really, really amazing.
Well, if I try and get it to as close as I can, it's all right. It's not amazing.
Yeah, it's tough to do. I found it really tough to do those super tiny little chips cleanly.
I'll have to do another couple of dozen spoons if I want them to look like Sebastian's in terms of the quality of the chip carving. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So thank you, Sebastian, for getting me to move away from my standard spoon that I've been carving for the last 6 or 7 years.
Nice job. Great job, Don.
Thanks.
All right. Jumping back out to the gallery view. Who would like to go next? All right, Chris, I see you waving.
All righty. Well, thanks, Sebastian. It was fun. I'm a chicken when it comes to colors, so I just did 2 colors, red and black. I'm also a chicken when it comes to design, so I just did a standard basket weave. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Cool.
Yes.
Good job. All right. Let me jump back out to the gallery view. And who would like to go next? Wave a hand, please, so I can see you. Anybody? All right, Brad, and then Kaylin, and then Kucha? I totally mangled that, didn't I?
Yes, Chucha.
Chucha, okay. So Brad, let me spotlight you real quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Hi. All righty, so I did too. This was really humbling because I find that I can't see well enough to do this, even with my reading glasses on. It's so the first one was a little too fiddly. It's I did a, I don't know, geometric design, and then I played around with something that looked like bats flying or whatever they are.
Cool.
And then on the back, I wanted to do a
Nice.
dark color and carve through it. So that's just wood showing through. And so this one I'm pretty pleased with. I hate the reddish colors. I might scrape that off and do something else. So that one took a while, and I think I don't know, for me, the carving was too small and fiddly, and thank goodness the paint will cover up some of those sins. And then I did another one, and I just couldn't decide what to do. And I had a design with a fish where these were gonna, and it was the same fish design that Rachel showed. So I changed. And so with this one, I did a modified fish with scales. That's actually gold. I don't have very many colors either. So this is there's a good fish on one side where everything's rounded. It's rounded. The scales are round. Everything's rounded, and even the dorsal fin is rounded. And then you flip it over, and there's the evil fish, where everything's pointing and triangular, and his dorsal fin is a triangle. So
super cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
and but this is very humbling because I got to get some magnifiers. I can't see well enough to do the job right.
Yeah.
But
From the spoons you're showing, we can tell that because it looks really great.
I was going to say they're spectacular.
The spoons you make with new glasses.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. It's the downside of getting older is that you need to have some accommodations.
I actually kind of liked the reddish, it like looked pink coming through the camera, but I actually kind of like it. It kind of is a nice contrast with that light blue. I like it a lot.
Well, yeah, but I think I should here I've got a blue-green theme. I like that. And then here I've got, a gold, I don't know, but it's just too busy.
I don't know. I think it works, but I
think
love
if
the
you
design, the
changed
chip
it
carving
to
pattern.
orange.
And sorry?
I think I would bring the orangish yellow down into the pink area or the red area.
Orange, yellow down into the
Yeah, Birch, it's ugly. Send it to me.
It was a good try. I've never done chip carving. I did chip carving on Ian's ladle, but that was my very first attempt. And I don't paint anything. And I tried to get some silver on here, and gold on the bottom, but we'll see.
Well, you would never know that you haven't done much chip carving or painting because those spoons look spectacular. Really nice job.
Great, thanks.
All right. I think we're going to Kaylin next.
Hey. So I did, I'm behind in my homework, so I'm still working on one of them, but I do have one complete one. This one is, I was gifted some apple wood, and now we've got all of the cherry and the apple blossoms blooming. And so this one is kind of inspired by the apple blossom colors that are out in spring right now. And so this form right here is a leaf that wraps around the spoon.
Nice.
And then I tried to just add in some geometric influence just to kind of honor Sebastian's work. So I have just some red, white, and pink to kind of highlight the apple blossom colors. And my camera's not working well at all right now. And then I have relief cut here, a couple little apple blossoms at the very top and a little apple finial. So these ones are relief carved, so the petals are out, and then I have kind of a back inward, and then on the back.
May I ask what the tool you use for relief carving? Is it with gouges or with a slow knife, or?
That would be easier, but I have North Bay forge knives, so I have a tiny little chip carving knife here, and then I have, it's like the little itty bittiest hook knife, and it's so I just use the very end of this hook knife to kind of get into those spaces and stretch it away, essentially. So it worked pretty well. Sorry, I'm trying to change this a little. It worked pretty well for that process, but I don't own any gouges yet. But
well, you got glorious results. You don't need gouges.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so and then on the back, so these ones are, the petals are out, and then on the back I added 2 larger flowers, and these petals are carved in with that little tiny hook knife. So they're kind of indented into the wood. And then I also wanted to play with geometric shapes again. So here's just a little grid of blue for the sky, and then they're chip carved little squares into the blue, and I've added in little essentially petals falling down for the apple tree. So that is my apple blossom spoon. And then this one had a bit of spalting in the bowl that I didn't like, so I did try out the baking soda soak with just the bowl after it was painted. And so I darkened the sapwood color like that. And this was intended to be gifted to the man who gave me the apple wood, but it's a bit too pretty, so I think I'm keeping this one. So I started to carve a mini serving spoon out of the same template. So the bowl's much larger, but the handle's still small, so it sits in like a small side dish bowl.
Yeah.
And this one, I like to pretend that it's my fake walnut because it's the apple wood, but the heartwood sapwood split is just beautiful. And then I've just now started to do the blossom kind of carved inwards, which I'll be adding some chip carving to make it pop a little later.
Nice.
Yeah. But thank you, Sebastian. The chip carving's a ton of work. We were definitely on Rise Up a lot doing our homework, but the results are super creative, and watching everyone's today has been a joy. It's really cool to see what people came up with. So thank you.
Excellent. Spectacular job, Kaylin. Well done. All right. And let me go back. And where's Chucha? Wave. There you are. Found you. Let me spotlight you real quick.
Okay.
All right.
Look at mine. This was my first chip carving also.
Beautiful.
And you jumped in right into the deep end. Well done.
That's right.
Can you see the eye I tried to make?
Yep. Yeah, there's a bit of glare because of the light, but.
Yeah. And also I didn't use the right colors, but I think it worked out.
Yeah, it works great.
Is it oil colors or?
No, I used aquarelle colors and just oiled it.
Oh, that's beautiful. I don't think there's any right or wrong. I mean, use what you got. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't stay that good like acrylic color. But for this, I made only this one and didn't buy new colors for that. I think it's okay.
I don't think you needed it because it looks fantastic.
Thanks. And the wood, I have no idea what it is. It's brown, a brown stripe in the middle, but I have no idea what it is. Okay,
Well,
but it was fun.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Where in the world are you located again?
Germany.
Germany, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, fantastic job. I think it looks fantastic.
Okay.
Beautiful work.
Thanks.
All right. Jumping back out. Who would like to go next? Who hasn't gone yet? All right, Mozzie.
All right. So this started out for me really frustrating because I carved a spoon that I liked a lot. And then I decided for some reason to wood burn my design into it. And it looked like a cheap state fair tattoo. It was like, it looked like you like somebody just was like, here, I'll give you $5, brand something on me. It was really bad. So I got frustrated and I carved it all away. And then watching everybody on Rise Up work on theirs, I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll finish it. So yesterday, I did a little chip carving on it. I don't know if my camera's focusing, but I asked my 4-year-old what I should do. And she said that it should be, that I should put a diamond on it. So I chip carved a diamond in the top of it and then just went with the rest of the design. So
nice. Great save.
It was okay. It's not my favorite, but we finished it. So that's all right.
Yeah. Good job. All right.
Always great to get the kids to join in and partake.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, in fact, Florian, even, I don't know if people saw, but in the chat, he had mentioned that he had his 5-year-old create a template that we could carve. So maybe we'll do, and he suggested getting a bunch of kids to draw templates for it and we carve to their templates. So maybe we'll take one of the months this summer or next fall and have a kid design, spoon carve free for all with a bunch of different kid templates. So that would be fun. All right, great job. Excellent, Mozzie, well done. All right, let me jump back out to our gallery view. And Chris, I see you waving.
I didn't have tools for chip carving. I think I'm going to get some today. I'm new to this still, and I just find the shapes a challenge. Each one is quite different for me. And
you did a great job. Great
put
job on the form.
Some bevels on the back.
Yep.
And the front is very flat, ready for my chip carving, but
awesome.
The transitions were okay. It's good to practice them.
Yep.
Every Rise Up and Carve I try, I'm doing something a little different that I haven't done before, and I like that. I'm left-handed, and there's a spot on the spoon here that I have trouble, and I found a new way to, I don't know the name of the cut, where you lever it around your thumb, but instead of moving the knife, I was turning the spoon, and the knife holding still. So I was happy to just learn that new maneuver.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, there's a lot of grips where you can do that sort of almost a combination, and you can double your power sometimes. Like if you're trying to power through stuff, sometimes it's really helpful to not just apply power to the knife hand, but to use that other hand, and you're doubling that, power.
It wasn't even the power. It was just, I don't know how to get at that. How to get at that spot any other way,
Yeah, just a way to pivot it to get both to work well together. Yeah.
Right. So that just symmetry is a challenge for me, and I'm happy with my symmetry here, and sort of a new cut that helped me get there.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Well, you've nailed
Thanks,
the form, and your facets look fantastic. So well done.
Yeah, they're improving just since I started a couple challenges ago with that.
Awesome. Excellent. Well,
Yeah, definitely
fantastic.
gonna be trying the chip carving as soon as I get a tool that's appropriate.
Awesome. Good job. Can't wait to see it when you get it done.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Sebastian.
Thank you very much. Wonderful.
Who would like to go next? Wave your hands. All right, Morgan.
So I axed out 5 and I finished 2 and I'm working on the others.
Hey, folks, can I ask everybody to please mute? Okay, go ahead, Morgan.
So the first one I did, I made pretty simple. I got a couple of chips in it and then just incised all the lines. I really like orange, blue, and yellow, so I stuck with Sebastian's blue lines. And I definitely watered it down a lot, so they bled out in some of the lines. You can still see it with the lighter colors, but the darker colors covered it pretty well. And this one just has the front, but I kept the bands here going all the way around.
Nice.
And then for the second one, I went with the bird, sort of an abstract bird in a totem style. So it doesn't have any triangle chips. It's just like all of the details are chipped, but just the lines are done. And so the front has the color, and then the sides are just wood, and then the back is just
nice.
That's really cool, dramatic.
Yeah, I like it.
I
Very
like
nice.
the color palette. I liked the sort of abstract, natural design, and yeah, they're definitely challenging to chip away at and to paint. I had to go buy myself a little tiny paintbrush, but it's just so fun and definitely pushed me to do something that I wouldn't have otherwise. I love the little triangles. For this one, I made them super stark, straight lines with angled corners, sort of, like wings. And for the others, I gave them a bit more of a round shape, but I just think that's a really fun element that I'm gonna try and incorporate into some more spoons. Definitely makes axing a little bit longer, but I thought it was really fun. And Sebastian, thanks so much for the template.
Awesome job, Morgan. Hey, I gotta ask, did you choose that painting to have in your background specifically for this session?
No, that's just something I did one afternoon with some masking tape and acrylics.
Looks great. You should do that. You should try doing one of your spoons with that.
Maybe I'll do one with that. Now,
right?
Never put 2 and 2 together.
Really, really nice job. Spectacularly well done. You know what it kind of reminded me of, and I was thinking about this, it just dawned on me this morning, is to do that Eddie Van Halen guitar pattern as the pattern, in color selections for the surface of one of these spoons. That would work really well. All right. Excellent job, Morgan. Let's see, go back to the gallery. Who has not gone yet? Who's yet to go? Wave a hand. Anybody out there? Okay, Simon.
Yeah, hello. So yeah, I made 2 spoons. One I finished, and this one I tried to follow the template as precisely as I could, the side profile, and not only the top. So that was quite a challenge to really, keep within this. Whereas often I'm not using templates at all. So this was for me quite a challenge just on its own to really, stick to the template. So that was a cool challenge. And second time chip carving. This was very hard.
Really
took a
cool
lot of
design.
time, like the other people said, much longer than carving the spoon. And I tried to stick as close as possible to the style of Sebastian, and then I carved the back around the sides, and tried to follow it as closely as I could on this one. what else? One thing I wish I would have done was create a very clear collar here. Someone else mentioned the same thing, and I just kind of painted and didn't really know quite where to stop. So if I do it again, I will definitely do that. It's birch, this one, and the other one I started is applewood. Is plumwood, rather, is plumwood. So this one I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. This one I didn't follow the template, but quite funnily it turned out very similar. I feel like from the side, very similar. So not quite sure what I'm going to do there, but yeah, definitely something in the similar style. So it was cool for me to try new things, and like other people said, pardon?
I didn't hear anybody say anything. Go ahead.
Okay. For me, it was just really nice to, yeah, be able to do the spoon and just let loose, like with the chip carving without worrying. Like someone else mentioned, I often didn't want to ruin another spoon. I felt like I might ruin it, and here to just be able to go for it was super fun. So yeah, thanks. It was really fun to do.
Awesome. You would never know that you haven't done a lot of chip carving before, because it looks fantastic, and your color choices, everything. It looks great, Simon. Really, really nice job. Well done.
Thank you.
And welcome to Rise Up, by the way. Have you been on Rise Up before?
Yeah, I normally join in the mornings, not for a show and tell, but I'm often on in the mornings.
Yeah. Excellent. I don't think we've met before. By the way, in case anybody doesn't know, I'm just going to go ahead and give a little plug here. Simon does a wonderful podcast. Well, why don't you just tell a little bit about the podcast that you're doing?
Yeah, sure. It's called Spoon Carving Conversations, and yeah, I fell into this world of spoon carving quite deeply and dramatically in the last years, and I wanted to connect to people much as we're doing here. Hang on a second, sweetie. And yeah, so I'm doing a podcast where I talk to people about how and why they carve spoons, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Excellent. It's a fabulous podcast. I highly recommend it. Go check it out.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well done, Simon. Hello. Awesome. All right. Let me jump back out to the gallery. And who else has a spoon that they would like to share? Who hasn't had a chance to go yet? Anybody? Wave a hand. Or have we got everybody? If we've gotten everybody, then it's down to me, and then we'll jump into Instagram. All right. So, like everybody else said, the chip carving and the design work and all of that takes far more time than the carving of the spoon. So I did manage to carve 2 spoons. This is the one that I did not get to. Both of them are in birch. This is the one that I did get to do some chip carving and some painting, but I waited until the last minute, not realizing just how much time it was going to take. So I was really inspired by, I had watched recently Amy Leake's video up on the spoonclub.co.uk, and she does these beautiful hair combs and spoons where she does like a bird inside like a circle, and then she'll actually pierce with a fret saw and cut out the shape of the bird. So my original thought was to do that, but I didn't have time to do it. And but I did come up with a hummingbird design, because my wife's favorite bird is a hummingbird. We have a hummingbird feeder out front of our house. So I decided to give a go at trying to just incise the lines and get the shape. And I set it against like a sun, you know, sort of just a yellow sun. And my chip carving, this is sort of the first attempt of mine really at chip carving. I may have done it, dabbled once before, I forget, but I haven't really done much with it. So it's really hard to get nice clean cuts. So it's, at least I'm finding it difficult. Partly it might've been that the birch was pretty wet and you know, freshly cut. So it's kind of fibrous. I wasn't probably getting the cleanest cuts in the world, but it's probably more down to my lack of skill. I ended up adding a little bit of gold. It's hard to see, so I painted the ball gold and I did the outline gold. I'll probably continue that around as I move on to the back, but time didn't allow. I did get some chip carving in down at the bottom here. I haven't carried it up the handle yet, and obviously I still have to paint it. And I it dawned on me after as I was racing to get this done that I never got the collar painted, so I still have to do that. So I've got chip carved on both sides, and yeah, so that was it. A lot of fun. I was having a real tough time choosing colors and figuring out like what to put where and all that. So, but it'll be a lot of fun exploring and playing with it. So I'm really looking forward to it. And now I realize just how much time I need to devote to chip carving. I'll be able to better plan that out, I think, in the future. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, Sebastian, and a great challenge. And I'm super impressed with all the work that everybody has done, especially these people who've never chip carved before, and their stuff comes out looking spectacular. Really, really great job, one and all. Jump back out to the gallery. So yeah, huge round of applause and huge round of thank you to all of you for participating. We're so happy to have you all as part of Rise Up and Carve. And I hope you really had a lot of fun with this. I know I did. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to jump over and we will start looking through spoons that have been posted up on the Instagram. Before I do that though, it's 9:37, so we've been going for about an hour and a half. Does anybody have anything else that they want to say? Feel free to unmute yourselves and just jump in and chime in.
I joined in late, so hi everyone. I just wanted to say thank you. We were celebrating my grandfather's 98th birthday today.
Wow.
Yes, it was a big one, so I had to miss, but I just got on now. So thank you very much, Sebastian. I really enjoyed the challenge as well. I didn't go all out. Mine is right here.
I think you went all out. I think it looks spectacular.
Well, I didn't do the
yeah.
back. I did have my trademark snail, obviously. But I'm hoping to do another and do a little bit more chip carving. So thank you very much. And maybe a bit more coloring in my spoons.
Yeah,
so,
nice
thank
job.
You, Sebastian.
I love the green
self-portrait. Did you try to
It is a
capture my
self-portrait,
one?
yes.
All right, really nice.
Yes, it was a little bit of Suze's self-portrait spoon of me and your influence, and together came this little thing. So thank you very much.
Wonderful, thank you.
Awesome job, as always, with everything you do, Owen. All right, so then before I move on, I put the call out there a couple times. Was there anybody else who may have jumped in late who has a spoon they want to share that didn't get a chance? Wave your hands if so. If not, I'm going to move into the Instagram.
I don't have a spoon that I would like to share, but I would like to say that it's a real pleasure to be back here. I've been out for a couple of weeks, and so I just got back into town about 1 in the morning and made sure that I could get up for the show and tell this morning, and it's a real pleasure to see you all again.
Awesome, great to have you back. All right. With that then, I am going to go ahead and share my screen. Screen number 2, share. You guys able to see my screen okay?
Absolutely, works.
Okay. So we will start just working our way up the line then. So here is Sebastian's one that kicked us off. Your super cranky spoon.
The nose breaker.
That's right. Nice. This is Kamal. He was just getting going and then he found a crack. Bummer. Hate when that happens. This was Suze with her chip carving practice piece, it looks like. Russell with a big scoop.
I couldn't partake in this particular challenge, but
yeah. Sebastian again. Nice. And this was just our discussion from the demo. I like that scoopy form.
yeah, thank you. It's like a cold spoon bowl,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, in fact, I found myself wanting to leave a bit of a pronounced hump like the dolphin spoon, because just to leave a bigger, wider side surface to do something with. But then I ended up shaving it back down to be a little bit closer to the template. But I think a dolphin spoon would actually work well for this type of chip carving. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I did with Julian's cold spoon. It was
Yep.
really fun to chip carve, to have these different surfaces.
Yeah,
So
very cool.
go into the, was it number 8? No, 17? No. Yeah, 17.
17, yeah.
Yeah. So it's perfect shape for chip carving.
Yep. So this is Rachel's before color, I assume. Really, really nice. Nice. Like the spiral that you threw in on this one.
And it's fun to go mongrel.
Yep. Wow, Rachel, really amazing. Beautiful job. Love this.
Always fun to see the inspiration also behind the artwork. That's great.
That's really cool. I love that a lot. That's awesome. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of curious for those that do chip carving where they don't put paint on it. Like how, like mine came out was looking so dirty and messy when I was done with the chip carving between the graphite from the pencil for the pattern lines that I was drawing in and just probably, you know, dirt from my hands or the oils in my hands or whatever. Like, how do you clean that up after the fact? Like the paint, like they said, hides a multitude of sins, but I wonder how you would clean it up if you wanted to just leave it the natural wood.
What if you just take your pencil and do like a gravestone rubbing and then burnish it and then oil it? You get this nice graphite shine.
This is also different between what pencil you use. If you have a very fine and hard pencil, it doesn't leave as much graphite smearing the surface.
Mm.
So I used these watercolor pencils. Oh no, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used the watercolor pencils. So then when you're done, you can just wash it away and it dissolves.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Watercolor pencils. All right. I'll have to try that.
Some
Okay.
over there on the top.
Cool. All right.
I think that's also
Nice.
the sharp angles makes it
Yeah.
cool. Really fun.
Yep. That came out fantastic. Wow. Love that one. Really cool, Rachel. I never would have thought of putting a black and white checkerboard like that behind it. And I love the banding with the colors that you used for each of the ribbons, if you will.
Yeah, but I think the fact that you wouldn't have thought of it is probably a good thing, because I don't think it works. I think it
No,
should be
really, you don't like it?
No, I think it detracts from the ribbons a bit.
Maybe.
You have to do another one and remove them so we can see the difference side by side.
Yeah.
Get on that. There we go. I really like that form, just that kind of sweep of that. Really, really nice. Beautiful job. Ah, Craig.
Yeah, he wasn't on here today, but
Yeah, he's
beautiful.
tied up. Busy doing stuff. Beautiful chip carving. Nice. I love that. Really, really nice job on this one, and then turning it into the galaxy and everything.
There's a spoon in there somewhere.
Yep. Hidden amongst the chips. There. Nice.
It amazes me the variation you can get with paint and colors. I mean, not only you use different
Yeah.
thickness of colors, but also color combinations. It's so very individual. From this color explosions to Judy's really beautiful thin down, washed down colors. I love it.
That's just fantastic. Look at that. Really cool. Beautiful job. Well, that'll be a bit of work. Nice.
So very well planned. It's also fun to see the difference between a thought out design and the things we do. And us to just make it up as we go along. It was really nice.
More from Craig. And there's the painted version.
This one was my kid's favorite.
Right, those cartoon character kind of things, really neat.
I love this one.
I think this was also really brave. Cool effect.
Really neat.
I've made some videos of how to carve those scales. I haven't edited together yet. I thought I forgot to speak about them during my demo, so I will post that to my Instagram when ready.
Cool.
Thanks.
Nice. It's just my in progress. Oh. Nice. Dawn's in progress.
I didn't use the side view template at all. I found that really hard to do.
Found it hard. What do you mean?
I just I have my kind of approach to doing the side profile, and while I've tried to use templates to get that profile view, that I just can never seem to match it up.
Mm.
I find that if you, certainly for me, that if I do manage to match it up, I tend not to like it as much as what I would have done. So I struggle to achieve it, and then I carve it out in any case. And it's
And also any template is just idea or a suggestion. So it's,
yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Mr. Glendenning.
also wild colors.
Right? That's amazing how much it can vary from front to back. Like this doesn't even look like the same spoon as that. Really wild. Love that. Very nice. I love that effect of getting like this profile of a face like that. Like it's like a profile and a front view all at the, it's like two faces, like one in front view from the back and one in profile from the side, but they look like one. It's wild. It's just a neat effect. Nice. There it is. Right? That's such a cool look.
And so eye popping with the primary colors as well.
Right?
This is not primary colors, but the yellow and purple against each other.
I love the blend with the natural wood too. On that back. Really nice. That's a beautiful, beautiful spoon. This is a cool one. I love this. Sean did.
Yeah, really personal.
Love that. So cool looking. Jody, nice job. Yeah, I thought what you did there with the coloring in there matching the spalting, I think that worked really well. That really shows off the variations, the tonal variations really nicely. Great picture. Beautiful.
And I guess I didn't get a reverse picture of the blue one, but it's on my stories because there's carving on the back.
Really nice. Fantastic job, Jody.
Thank you.
Sunny. I love that with the moon. I never would have picked up on that until he said it. And then I was like, oh yeah.
It's
Nice
also nice
job.
to have the back unpainted when the wood is so beautiful in itself.
Yep.
So that's a smart move.
Really nice job. Patrice.
Beautiful colors.
Yeah.
Really good.
Thanks. I probably would have done it differently. Well, after seeing Jody's and the way the wood grain comes through, I really like that effect, and I would have done more of it. I only did it at the very bottom, and I don't know. I just really like subtle colors, and that would have maybe suited the skull a little better. But
Yeah, I agree. I love that you left those plain down there. It really worked well. It's a really neat look.
now it's kind of like pastels and skulls. I don't know, but it works.
Yeah, it totally works. And you're right, that sets off your maker's mark perfectly. Nice job. Yeah, I don't think Kamal got to finish his. Nice, Peter.
So humbling to watch see everyone else's. I deliberately did not look at others. I didn't want to be influenced. And now they're seeing them all. They're so great.
It's really cool.
Well, I tried. One thing I could say, if you do small chips, they're really hard to paint. The only thing I was really happy with, and actually Sebastian was kind of point this out, was the pattern on the side. It was just a chip carving pattern that came out the way I wanted it to. But it was a lot of fun. And
that looks fantastic. I love that. I like that pattern on the side a lot.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Also the blue and red on the wings, that's really beautiful. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Fantastic job.
And I did one that I didn't even paint at all. I just like the form so much. It's a really,
yeah. I didn't realize you were on here. Did you just get on?
Yeah, I'm a little late. I had to get my coffee. It's a little early. Thanks for moving the hour. Felt obliged to come.
Yeah, well, we'll start doing it for the next one. This one we started it at the normal time. I meant to shift it. So we're coming up on the end here, but
yeah, okay. I'm glad I made it.
But for the next one, we will start at 9 a.m. Eastern, so it'll be slightly more civilized for you folks on the West Coast.
Okay.
Nice. There we go.
That landscape is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really neat. I like that a lot.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. Fun.
I like that you improved on a master by adding the water and the birds.
That's gorgeous.
Really cool to pick up on that. Whoops, that wasn't what I wanted to do.
Thanks, Patrice.
Yeah, look at that. Love that. Really nice. Really cool to see the inspirations.
It's our turn right now. What do you want to say?
All right.
Yeah.
Also, first time chip carving. I mean,
right?
So good.
Holy cow.
I mean, it was first time, but I like for a few hours I had made a practice stick and I like, practiced before that spoon. So.
Ah, well, there's the secret. Then I take back all my compliments. Well, fantastic. Really amazing. I like the cross hatching in there. That's a really neat idea.
And gives great texture.
Yeah, and like this up here, was that all?
Yeah, I'll have to get up because I have to get to the mode.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Wow, very cool.
Can you get it? Sure.
Chris, nice. I like the red and black. It's
Yeah,
like
it's really strong.
like that lava, you know, kind of coming through effect that you sort of, is it Dave Nabaja that did those with that kind of that crackle sort of looking finish with red against black and it's like lava.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is the spoon that Darth Vader would use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the shape you got, Neil.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit more bulbous or the more pronounced wings. It's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, can you spot the guitar pick?
Oh yeah.
There's a guitar pick just placed straight up. Yeah, perfect
Yep.
mark.
Yep.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
I think it's fun to hide small things. So even though people don't get it straight away, I know what I put there.
Yep.
Like small chiffers or something.
All right.
Too good.
Oh no, wait. Really amazing. Look at that. All those scales, Rachel. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's so cool.
There's orange. I love that. I think it looks fantastic.
Beautiful colors.
I love the changing color, just the changing gradation like that. Really, really cool down there.
You got the tiny bit of red on the mouth.
Yeah. Right? Right. Yeah. Spectacular.
Also in the cheeks.
Yeah. A little rouge going on. Nice. Really, really beautiful. Fork off.
That's so funny.
Nice. Great job, Sue.
So crisp.
Right? I think that's everything. All right. Really, really spectacularly well done, everybody. Most impressed at just the creativity and the skill and your like willingness, to just go for it. Just really, really impressive. So, Sebastian, thank you once again. This was a spectacular challenge. I think people really, really enjoyed it. So, major congratulations on a challenge well done.
Thanks again for having me. It's been absolutely wonderful.
Fab job. Okay, I am going to stop the recording. Just as a reminder, in case anybody's watching this, I'll try and get up to YouTube probably tomorrow. The next spoon is up. So for RUAC spoon challenge number 20, it is up. It is George's spoon shape. And he will be doing a demo on Saturday, April 24th of doing the spoon mule. That will be at 8 a.m. Eastern. Sorry for you West Coast folks, but that's the time that works best for George for this particular demo. But we will be recording it, so it will go up onto YouTube, barring some mishap by some unskilled Zoom operator such as myself. But in any case, thank you everyone, and look forward to seeing you all again on Rise Up and Carve. As most of you hopefully know, there are people getting on and off Rise Up and Carve all throughout the day. So even though there are sort of 4 standard sessions, people are jumping in and out all day long, every day of the week. So hopefully we'll see you out there at some point, and if not, we'll catch you on the next show and tell. Take care, everybody, and I will stop recording if I can find where the stop button is. There it is.